Hello, and welcome to another chapter of a tome pulled right off the shelves at the heart of the Jakuls. As always, I'm your skilled host, Lothrin, and there's ever so much more data to relay. So let's get to it, shall we? Go grab a filling meal, settle into a cozy spot, and pay accurate attention to Fleet Part 65. Everybody gets lazy.
Hey boss, how much longer do we have to wait here? I'm getting real bored.
As long as it takes, kid. Alduin shifted in the cramped confines, laying his head sideways on a teetering stack of data pads.
Is this the right place? Are you sure? Like really sure? Because we've been here a long time with nothing. No results and nothing.
Alduin took stock of the single tiny desk, the pair of chairs which both of them occupied and had to have been cleared before they could sit there, the mountains of work that would never ever be finished, the musty wet smell of mold and water, and the sadness, dead decayed dreams broken apart and trampled by any other being that encountered this forlorn creature. Definitely, we're in the right place, kid.
He said he'd only be a minute or two. Thorin began to fidget. He was still a child, after all.
By the fur of a Greckenwald, even Alduin was starting to lose patience for this paper pusher. He's not a full person anymore, alright? That part died off ages ago. Alduin lit a domi for the kid, and then one for himself. He'd taken to buying smokes for both of them, since he had so much more money to burn, and who knew how long he had left to burn it. You can't trust anything a worm like this guy says or does. You got it, kid? Never trust one of these guys. They're the worst.
Thorin puffed at his domi, relishing the sweet, cooling flavor. Okay, boss, no need to get pushy about it. Both of them were lost in a moment of bliss as they thoroughly enjoyed every waft of the thick gray smoke clouds hanging above their heads in the minuscule office. So what are we doing here again, boss?
Alduin leaned against the wall, sprawling in his chair against various aches and pains for the third or fourth time since they got here. Okay, so you remember the part about a boss, a Zazo. There is one here on Bitter Rock.
Yeah, 'cause the kid was scared and ran off. Not scared of your gun, though. Scared about what you said, or how you said it, for some reason.
Right. So, this Zazo, like all the others I ever met, and I met more than most actual Zazos have, well, they all fall into habits, and habits are easier ways of doing things, at least that's how they seem at first. Patterns. All the Zazos were just kids once. Like you, all of them had rough lives that set up certain patterns for their minds to flow into.
Does it matter what kind of rough life it was, boss?
You see that right there is a very good question, kid, and pertinent to this phase of the investigation. Alright, so we got a Zazos, but which flavor? There's really only 3 types. There's variation, a bit of spice of life kind of thing, but 3 main types. There's the strategic Zazos, the most dangerous in my opinion. They always have a play and a plan no matter what comes their way. But you can tell they're around because everybody respects and fears them, as they should. But they don't cause too much havoc in the meantime unless somebody steps out of line. Alduin paused to put out his domi, sucking on another one to light it up, and offering a second to Thorin, the kid waving him off to say he'd had enough for now. Alduin was starting to feel a little parched, but he continued with the instruction. This thing was important. So next you got the banker. Now the banker's a lot like you, kid. Good with letters and numbers. No less ruthless though, but the banker pays for the fear and the respect. Always comes out of his pocket.
What's the last one? You said there were 3, so what is it? Thorin's gaze drifted up to the ceiling lazily.
The last one's the beast. You and everybody else would be stupid not to fear the beast. No one respects it, but everyone's very afraid of it, and with good reason. You can never tell when it's gonna come for you, or how it'll react to the truth when you provide it. But most beasts have at least a slight grip on reality.
Hey boss, how come you said it and they a lot? You saying dames in skirts can be Zazos too?
Of course they can. Seen it a few times. Alduin dragged at his domi lovingly. They have to earn it more, though. More often a former skirt than a dame. But dames, too. Usually a dame Zazos likes to hide behind a pawn. A man holding the dame's rep in his hands. But only as far as she lets him hold it.
That seems real wrong, boss.
Not really. It makes more sense when you see it from the inside. All Zazos earn their place. Not just earn, but take. And both of those things at once. But the companies, they're like businesses that are also democratic. They run because they're strong. The best hold the most profit and the most ground worth holding. And the soldiers, they work for the warriors that run each part of the business. The warriors, though, they're aged and experienced, well-respected, popular, and feared for their deeds. They come together and elect the Zazos, usually. Got a feeling this one's a bit different, though.
One more second. I got all the fatal accident reports for you. My boss cornered me, though. You must have friends in high places, because she doesn't let me get away with half of the stuff you've asked for. I mean, I got it all here. It just took a little longer and that sort of thing.
Thorin shook his head and tossed a few dismissive and rude gestures towards the paper pusher. The weak man's back turned to them as it was.
Not that it would have mattered, but Alduin smiled and motioned for the boy to calm himself. Their little bit of schooling done for the day. You have all of them? Even reports from the first day of habitation?
Oh, there were no accidents or deaths for the first month and a half of Bitterrock's operation. I did check all of the files anyway that you wanted, just to be sure, because I feel that it's necessary to file and list every request as best as you can to get the job done as thoroughly as possible.
That narrows it down a bit. All right, I'll take all the files you gathered.
You can't! The paper pusher shouted and huddled up against himself as if Alduin had just backhand slapped him.
What did you just say to me? Alduin found his ruined right hand on the Sivon revolver, purring at his hip.
Correction. You could easily kill me and take the files, but Cam Novir would come after you. He's forbidden the original copies to leave the storage room and go beyond my office. You could kill me, though. You could.
My apologies. My mistake. So we'll just tuck in and start going through them all then, won't we?
I clock out in 3 hours? I'm not waiting around for you to be finished with whatever this is. I have important stuff to do today. The paper pusher revealed the last remnant of his once mighty spine. Even men like him, weak, frail, empty little creatures, clustered around whatever little power they could gather up in their lives.
I'm not risking this shit getting into the wrong hands if it hasn't already. Make copies.
That will take far too long.
I don't know how to make copies of datapads. Do you, kid?
Well, no, but I'm pretty sure I can learn.
Settled. Teach the kid how to make copies and we stay here to make them. You keep the records, we get the data. Everybody wins.
Fine, but I'm writing a report about this. If Commander Novir hears about this and he's angry, he comes down on someone's head about this, it won't be my head that he comes down on. You hear me? It'll be yours. It'll be your head that he comes down on. Because I'm not having this being placed on me. No, that is not going to happen.
Whatever. No one cares. Get to work. Some of us gotta eat today.
And so it is. Our time together has once more come to a close. I hope each and every one of you enjoyed the tale as much as I have the telling of it. As always, I've been your dedicated host, Lothrin, and this was Fleet Part 65. Everybody Gets Lazy. Another tale right from the heart of the Jakuls. And now, sadly, ever so sadly, we must once again part ways. Korvoth guide them back along the proper path, back to the safety they know all too well.
Yes, sir, Lothrin. More sitting around information, but it's just sitting. I don't get it. A pleasant greeting and a fond farewell to each and all. Please leave all your comments, questions, and kindnesses down below. Don't you let me catch a single one of you leaving any of that nasty, ruler, awful stuff, though. You keep all that garbage to yourselves, you got it? You got it? None of it. None of it down there. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to help us learn, spread, and grow. And don't forget that we strongly encourage each and every one of you to stay safe out there. See you again tomorrow for the discussion. I'm not really looking forward to it. His story is so slow. I don't know how Lothrin can stand it. Good night and good luck. You'll need it. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye. See you